We are live. Oh my God. They keep changing it. They keep changing the app. They've gotten rid of settings. Now it's by default, on mine anyways, it's unlisted. So I go live and there's nobody there. And then I have to go turn it off and reboot it. Sorry for the delay, everybody. My name's Cliff. This is Curry Custom Cutlery. We are live and we're going to do some sharpening today. So let me get set up and we'll get going. Hope everyone's doing good. Sorry for the delays again. So we got some stuff to do today. How's everybody doing? Also, I got my laptop. I am working on some better lighting here too. The lighting is really good for when I'm working here and at my stations, but I realized it's not really a YouTube studio in 4K, okay? We'll get there. You know, if that's what we got to do to keep up with the kids, we'll do what we got to do. We're still putting out the best sharpening content, I think, on YouTube, and we're going to keep trying to do that. All right, let me refresh us here. I'll pull up the thing here, and then I can read the comments over here. And there's that guy. Still trying to lose some weight, everybody. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. There we go. And I got the chat up. And I can see everybody. Hey, from Germany, Frank. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. So I'll just do my thing, which is what I normally do on Tuesdays. I come in. And so I come in on Tuesdays, and there's a rack full of things for me to sharpen. And then the first thing I do, this is just, it's part of what I'm talking to you guys while I'm just doing what I do. Here's a knife. I'm going to thin that later on. Hopefully we'll get to thin that today on camera. And I do an equipment check. Check my belts, check my machines, make sure my workspace is cleaned off. Like a professional commercial sharpener would do. You have a nice, clean, open workspace. And then you've got your workflow. You've got your first space. You got your second base. You got your third base. You got your final base. Everything's set up. There's no place for things to hide or get lost. And it doesn't really take up that much room, right? I mean, my entire shop is 3, 6, 9, maybe 12 feet. 2 benches, 2 6-foot tables. Behind me over here, we have the Dusty. Give that a clean real quick. This is my custom forehead flat hone. Scissor sharpening is another area of sharpening. And once I decided I was going to make more than a hobby out of this, and I moved off of my carport, I went and got professional training. Sorry guys. We'll try and get that to not make noise as much. So once I decided to actually become a professional sharpener, I went and got training. Because there's some things you just can't fake off of YouTube. Even, you know, in fact, this has been many years ago now, but one of the first things I did when I got onto my Facebook forum was I was all excited and I tried to act like I knew everything and making friends with everybody. And they kind of saw right through it, what I was doing. I was just trying to trying to let people know that I thought I knew what I was doing when I didn't. And yeah, it's kind of embarrassing, you know. So I asked a guy, hey, is there any good YouTube videos on how to be a scissor sharpener? And the guys get the training to learn how to become a scissor sharpener isn't really something that you can learn off of YouTube. You can learn a lot about knives, especially from guys that are showing you, you know, with their microscopes and stuff like I've done, where we actually show the science of how to sharpen and demonstrate the tools and the techniques of sharpening. But interestingly enough, hair scissors is half art and half science. And the I see we got a big old cord sticking up. I had my son come down and we got a speaker moved. It's hard when you got, it's easy when you're just getting started out, but as you get further along down the road, it gets harder and harder to build up. Come on, baby. Oh, we're tangled over here. All right, that's exciting. Sorry, I'll let you guys watch my bench here. Got the door alarm going off. Are we good? No, we're not good. All right. So we had an amazing shop set up, and then I had to tear it all down. And you guys have probably all heard the story. And when we had to tear down the shop, we moved over to here. There we go. And this is where we ended up. And we've just done the best we can with what we got here. But it's hard once you got something set up really good once to get motivated to do it all over again. Yay, there goes the wire. All right, there we go. That's my office in there. So we were talking about this here. This is the, this is two Kotoku twin head scissor sharpening machines, and we put a custom bar all the way across. And so you can go from down here is the leftovers from my van, that when I built the van and moved out of there. This is just all sharpening stuff, gun oil. I mean, this is like a treasure trove. This is a roadmap. Here's a very rare thing right here. Look at that. That's a I can't remember the name of the damn thing. CRKT made this, and it allows you to sharpen different size serrations. But regardless of that, it's diamond. It's really good for doing certain things, but for doing serrations, anytime you got a rod and you're trying to scrub them back and forth, it's kind of like being in the caveman age, yeah? Different sharpeners, Spyderco rods. I've got all the different Spyderco rods. These are the ones that are just still down here that I don't use that much. So this is leftovers. Here's all the little stuff. This is all stuff that I use for sharpening every day when I was in my van. A cork even for, you know, for the old draw the burr through the cork thing that we've kind of went past a long time ago. A little leather strop, or a leather, it's not really a strop, but you can use that for some different things. For cleaning mirrored surfaces, actually. Things I haven't seen in a long time, and they all live here. This is just what happens when you do sharpening, is you end up with all these leftovers. Here's a cool thing. Little oiler pen, I think. Yeah, it's got a screw cap on it. Yeah, little oiler pen with precision. Burp, 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 and it drops a little drop of oil out. That's cool. Yeah, you end up getting this whole, I've got boxes and boxes just of leftover stuff. And that's just the way it goes, you know. Let me post here real quick so we can get a few more people coming in the door. And I did ask how everybody's doing. Catfish Tony, what's up? There we go. Let you guys watch me, watching you. Watching me. Okay. I don't know if it's my computer or what, but it's just being super slow. All right, so I'll just grab the live feed and then I'll take it over. Okay, there's one post. I don't know. Is it the internet? Is it the computer? All right, I'll just do it. I'll do it once here, right here. Live on YouTube for the next few hours. Control V. There we go. I'll let a few people know. And that'll let everybody kind of know what's going on. So this is my Tuesday. It's been a little hectic. Nice. Surfcaster in the van. Van life is good. I love it. Ed Sutherland flood damage is all completed. We're good on that. That was quite a crazy couple months. It's great. It's also crazy how quickly they can kind of get the damage removed, and we get to move back to kind of regular life, business as usual. I got a few things to do today. One of the things I'll finish off before we get started too far into it is one of the things I like to do at least once a week to my leather stropping station. So, I mean, I run a 3-step process. You guys mostly know what I run. It's the Cubitron P120, and we've been using these belts and selling these belts for years now. Amazing products. We got the best variety in all the different shapes and sizes, and you can find those on our website at currycustomcutlery.com. One of the things I don't do enough is promote our own, what we do for business. I find it, it's one of the things I haven't done a lot of, but I see that we need to do that more. So if you guys do need products or supplies, we got the very best stuff. It's besides me sharing what I love to do, which is share how to do sharpening. I also love that we've got some of the best stuff we've been able to find. The Scotch-Brite wheels, the leather wheels, all the belts, the diamonds, everything we use, we've got it. And or we're going to have it because we have a restock shipment coming real soon. So we got the Cubitron belt, P120. That's our first step, angle guide. Second angle guide, slightly tipped up. I'm doing something a little different today. I'm actually running one of the Pro Value, which is our off-brand Trizact. And it's holding up pretty good. It's not quite the same feel as I'll give you a close-up on this here in a little bit. It's not quite the same as a Trizact, but it's two-thirds of the cost. So you get your value. You know what? It doesn't. If it's half as good, it's half the price. If it's 2/3 as good, it's 2/3 the price. You might as well just get the good stuff. But if you want, some guys are stuck on Red Label. Red Label is just a ceramic red belt. We have a red ceramic belt.
Here's your reminder. Order more boxes.
Thank you. Thank you, Alexa, for that interrupting reminder.
Order more boxes.
We have to order more boxes, everybody. So the red ceramics, a Bora belt is just a purple ceramic. Red Label, all of them, if it's a red ceramic belt, they're all going to last about the same amount of time. I've tried them. I mean, I keep trying them. I keep going back. We're always looking for new products as well that maybe will last longer. But everyone gets hyped up about the new this or the new that. And there's already things that are established and proven that work great. So what I do once a week is I take the leather belt, I do this to it. I give it a real light scuffing. This is a brand new belt, pretty brand new belt. And then I will lay a little bed of the liquid down. I use 3 micron. That's my go-to. I'm trying to track down what that squeak is. And then you'll feel it, and once it soaks in, it really gets, I call it stiction. So it's not gummy or sticky like sugary, sticky, like soda pop stuck on something. But it actually, you can feel it pull. And that stiction is what helps to burnish and bring the two surfaces together with the help of the micron abrasive. So that's where that is. This will get glazed over, like this one here is glazed. Actually, I think I know what's making that weird noise. I tried to fix it the other day. This is where it pays to be a repairman, right? This is something that we put together 4 years ago now. typically you can't put a wheel on the side of these machines. I'll show you. There we go. So the wheel comes off. What we have here we have a spacer and it's sliding out. So it's not, so I can either grind the spacer narrower or I can put another, I'm calling it a spacer, the arbor adapter. And the arbor adapter, I custom made it to fit the small little shaft that's sticking off the end. Sorry. You're probably hearing all kinds of weird noises in the background on my phone. So we could either do that or I could just stick another, like a washer in here. But I think this thing actually needs ground down a little bit. So if I was going to grind that down, I would get something to do some grinding with. And then we will go ahead and do that. One second, guys. And we're just opening up, so we'll probably have some exciting customers coming in here at some point real soon. I'm just going to take a super coarse belt. I'm going to turn this up, turn this on, spinning that way. There we go. I'm just going to let the friction melt that little thing down a little bit. Get it all gooey. Love it. Perfect. Yikes, watch out. So we're pretty excited. We're talking daily with the guys over in the Midwest for the Kansas City event coming up. Did I actually just make it worse? I think I did. You never know what you're going to get when you're live on camera. We're trying not to stab ourselves here. Yeah, almost. Let's do that again. I'll come from over here. So I had several different ways I could have handled that, and I did it this way. Now it's going to fight me. Of course. Hey guys, Ed, thank you so much for the nice words. We're trying. You know, we actually have, just ignore me monkeying with this thing for a minute, or laugh if you want to. Please, you're not going to hurt my feelings. But what we're going to do is we have a massive shipment coming, 2 massive shipments coming. And the first shipment is an emergency shipment that should be here within a week. And that'll get us restocked. That's got 5,000 belt products. And then we have from now on, we're going to be doing our shipments by ocean cargo, and it'll take 3 months to get here, which is why we've had the delay. But then we have 6 months worth of stock, and so we should be overstocked at all times, and that's the main goal, is so that we don't run out of stock. It's really hard when you're trying to work with supply and demand, and everything's increasing. So let's just see if we can't grab that little bunch of... Somehow I managed to cover up the thread holes is what I did. And the idea would be that you would drill that out. But I'm just trying to fight it here. And it's not working for me. So we'll just move on for right now. I've got to drill that back out. And we'll just set this here. This will be a little project that I don't do for a while. Because I got stuff to do. Sorry. I got distracted. I was trying to show you guys something, and then I decided to try and fix something. And I'm stressing out a little bit, to be honest, because I don't want to sit here on camera and fiddle with something. Live streams are different because they are supposed to be more relaxed and set back, right? I watch a mechanic guy named Musty. You guys ever heard of him, or you know who he is? And dude is super cool, and he just does repairs, you know. He just takes his time and he does these repairs on camera. And his videos are always an hour, 2 hours long. This is a great tool, by the way. You've never seen one before. I do a lot of different tasks with this thing. Yep, we do a lot of different stuff with that. When you can't get in somewhere and you need to bring up a burr, or I use these at a flower shop and they got this big old guillotine thing. You could take the whole contraption apart, or you could just come right up to it and go zip, zip, zip. Go edge trailing, bring up a burr, put a finer grip belt on, go edge leading to cut that burr off. Sound familiar? So funny enough, I went down into that little toolkit that was in my van, and there's a little pry pokey grindy tool. What we've done is I've ground out where all that plastic melted down in, and this is, you still got to get down in. There you go. I do that a lot. I said I was going to leave it, and then I won't leave it because I don't like to leave things that fight me. All right. So we got our washer. That's still the Mountain Dew lid. I'm rather proud of that. So rule of thumb is, if you think about which way the wheel is turning, the screw will go the opposite way to tighten. And there we go. Now, because I've ground down so much of the spacer, this can tighten into place, and it should be snug to where this doesn't make that noise. Hey, worth it. Worth it. There we go. Woohoo! Victory! All right. Clean up. Put everything away. And then what I was going to show you was, so this was back to what we were talking about. This wheel is glazed over, and so you'll scuff it up. Doesn't take much, and you just remove that outside edge. Then you can check it. If it needs to be a little bit more scuffed up, you can scuff it up some more. But then when it's got the new open fresh fibers, you've removed all the debris that's there. And now you've got a really good stropping surface again. So both of those are fresh. We even did a fix on the machine. And that's how you keep the machine updated, or your workspace. I call it a reset. Kind of like working in restaurants, right? You go work in a restaurant and you, beginning of your shift, you come in and your work area is prepped, your things are sharp, everything's ready to go. Hello from Kentucky. Hey, what's going on, you guys? Yeah, Tony, Sunday morning's the best way to go. Sometimes our Tuesdays are on Mondays. I heard the funniest sharpener joke yesterday. It was they're calling it for fly tying. But we'll see if we can apply it to sharpeners here. Let's see if I can do it without screwing up the joke. If you're ever lost in the woods, pull out a knife and start sharpening it. And 5 other sharpeners will show up to tell you you're doing it wrong. And one of them will know the way out of the woods. I think it was originally fly tires is what they said. Max man, nice to see you. Yeah, the Millie Group. I'm a huge Spyderco fan, you know, and hopefully I can do them proud. I know I've done a couple where they weren't too happy with the results with the work I had done, and that's okay, you know. Some of the stuff I'm trying to do is for demonstration. It's not to show you how perfect I can make the edge. It's to show you how to do different techniques and things like that. A lot of the pieces that I've gotten in, and we're going to do some today here in just a minute. A lot of the ones that we have in are old and beat up. I mean, we're talking 1990s beat up. And so, look at that one. Where's the rest of it? Yeah, I'm developed. Look at this little guy. There you go. Oh, customer. Got a customer coming in hot, people. Be cool. Be cool. Look at that one. So I'm really going to try and do some redemption on the serrations, you know, and do some serration work that people. I'm gonna try. Maybe we'll try on this one today. That'd be fun. You know, I'll bring you guys along, but the idea is to demonstrate how to do it, but also show that you can do it at an extremely high level. I think this is the local buddy of mine. Not sure if he wants to be on camera or not. Hey there.
Hey.
How you doing? Watch your step. Yep.
How are you?
Good. How's it going? How's it going?
Huh? What you
Yeah.
got? This one.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. How's everything at the restaurant?
Everything good? Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm video recording, but we don't got you on camera.
Okay.
Unless you want to be on camera. What's the name of your place?
Star noodles?
Yeah. What? This is one of my customers. I see him every week. What's the name of your the food truck?
No. Star noodles?
Oh, Star Noodles. Okay, Star Noodles, Maui. It's in Kihei, right?
No, in Lahaina.
Lahaina side. Okay, so they've been working really hard to bring Lahaina back online, and we were just there. My wife got us a room at the Marriott overnight with our points,
Yes.
and so we went early the first day, stayed the night,
Okay.
and then we camped out the whole second day. Bunch of freeloaders.
Yeah. Well,
You know, hung out at the pool.
that's more fat right
How often are we doing these? Once every 4 weeks?
there. 4 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. They're holding up good.
But that's good. That's working perfect.
You know, you can make them as sharp as you can be, but 4 weeks of chopping and slicing,
Yeah.
and that's if somebody doesn't get to it with the steel.
Right. Yeah, so there's gonna be so many ways to sharpen that thing.
Well, we had one location, and they called me back a week later.
Okay.
They said they weren't sharp anymore, and I put them under the microscope,
Yes.
and you could see that they had been dragged. And I said, "You got a steel?" And they showed me they had a diamond rod,
Yes.
and so they were just scraping it on the diamond rod.
Yeah, normally not. I'm fine out the carpet in diamond,
Yeah.
but nobody.
No, these ones, yeah, I can tell. We can tell. It's like you go to the dentist and you try and tell them you've been cleaning your teeth.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The dentist knows.
Yeah.
It's like, did you put a steel on this? Oh, no. Bring it down. I was just showing these guys on camera how we tune up the... Oh, that sounds so much better. It's making that squeaky noise. We're also at very high speed. I usually come down medium speed. Love it. Give them a wipe.
That's all.
For the guys on camera.
There we go.
Yeah. 1, 2. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. My paper's getting old. If you have any extra phone books, let me know.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
24. There we go.
Thank you.
for the rock and roll tomorrow.
Rock and roll. Oh, I said that for many years. Rock and roll. Now I just want to sit and chill.
Yes. Make more easy, my job.
Yeah. I've rocked and
Alright.
I've rolled.
Perfect.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
All right, Bo.
Cheers.
See you next month.
Yeah, in 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice. Nice. Everybody trickling in. Trickle, trickle. Safety slippers. I heard one guy teasing me about my safety slippers. Nice. Guys, these, I know monsters give you adrenal failure, but I get tired of coffee. This tea lemonade, 0 calories. Oh, sorry, 25 calories. It tastes so good. If you get tired, if you like the Monster Whites, try that. Delicious. Okay, so we got some pocket knives ahead of us. And we have some sharpening news to discuss. We are busy. That's the short of it. So it's going to be here really fast. The NSG next month in Kansas City, Missouri. I wanted to say Kansas City, Kansas, but I've never been to Missouri. I am a fan of barbecue, and I've heard that that part of the country has good barbecue. I was in North Carolina, and I was really impressed with this white sauce, Carolina white sauce. I think it's a vinegar-based, mayonnaise and vinegar-based sauce. Cuts right through the fattiness of the fattier brisket meat. Love it. So these are a specialty blade. They're kind of like a planer blade, but they don't have to be dead nuts flat. They're for shaving coconuts, believe it or not. And we've been doing them for many years. We've worked and adapted the different design over time. The actual edge, we've tried different edges. We've tried a full convex edge, keeping about a 30, oh, it's a 45 right there. That's clearly about a 45-degree angle. But we've tried convexing it at a lower angle, but having the apex still be at 45, basically just rounding out the shoulder. At the end of the day, you can just run a straight flat 45, and it's easily repeatable without taking off too much material at the same time. Now this is a monster here. This is about 2 pounds, and you can see even after all the years of sharpening, we still haven't gotten down into this area. I've been trying to get that to go away, and you can see I'm hitting up here and I'm hitting here, eventually the whole thing will become one smooth taper. But people don't realize that when you're grinding a chunk of metal that's as thick as your thumb, how much, well, several things, how long it takes and how much surface heat builds up, even with coarse grit belts, etc. So you can go with a 50 grit if you need to, but usually I just try and run the 80 grit. Turn on the suction. Here we go. And then I'll get it adjusted to our output over here. There we go. Yeah, we'll get better lighting for this whole area. That'll be one of our next steps we do. All right, I'm just going to grind this out real quick. We got 5 little guys, 5 medium guys, and the 1 big guy. And turn down the volume if you're so inclined. I see the burr come up. That's the one, all I need to do. And I do that second step mostly just so I can watch the burr get flipped back, and it confirms that I've done it. I've apexed all the way across. This is at a very low angle. Same thing, bring up the burr. Also making sure to set these away from the edge and away from my toes. There's a little guy. Little guy. So I'm angle matching is what I'm doing. As soon as I get done with this, I guess I can keep talking if you guys can hear me, but one of the cool things we've been doing, I've been working with the NSG, National Sharpeners Guild. All. And we're trying to get a new knife certification. Which is a fancy word for a piece of paper. But with this piece of paper, actually, to get this piece of paper, you actually have to jump through several pretty high bar hoops to get there. What I proposed is that any sort of knife certification should involve multiple different types of knives. You should have your Western kitchen knife, your Japanese single bevel kitchen knife. You should have your fillet knife, since it's flexible and skinny, different from anything else, you should have a serrated knife and you should have a pocket knife at the very least. And then there's your 5 knife types. And I know you could keep breaking it down, but if you break it down into the basic functional types of knives, you have kitchen knife, Japanese single bevel knife, you have fillet knife, serrated knife, pocket knife. Then you have different types of repairs. You have broken tip, you have a recurve. You want to make sure that you have symmetrical bevels. You want to make sure that you have an elf shoot it. Then you have your sharpness testing. And so you combine all these things. You have this type of knife with this type of problem. How well did they repair the problem on a scale of 1 to 20? How sharp is it on a scale of 1 to 20? The sharpness tests I propose are 2 different sharpness tests. So you have the best test, which is just a push cut, but also you would have a slice cut test through a standardized medium, like a sponge. So you could have a basic sponge material, which I've known that that's been used for testing before. And so then they do a draw cut and you determine if it can cut through the sponge or not. All these things would give you a testing and a score, and if you can pass the score, some of it's not going to be easy, because to redo serrations, to fix a broken tip, to make the bevel symmetrical, remove a recurve in a blade, these things all are more than just putting an apex on a knife and deburring the knife, which is what a basic sharpening is. So we did the first grind over there. Now I'm just going to take and do I use the Scotch-Brite. Question came up on the forums the other day. I'm just using a wheel. You can use a leather wheel. This just happens to be made literally out of stacks of cardboard glued together. But it's the same thing. It's a wheel. And then it's what you put on the wheel that helps it to remove the burr. The fluffy wheels, the woven cotton wheels, are the things I don't recommend. I struggled horribly as a young sharpener, a new sharpener, with that. And if I would have went to something like this, I would have been getting, that probably right there is a best test of about 120. Somewhere close to 100. Just because I do it so many times. If I feel it and it sticks to the hair, that's going to be a slicing. Of course, the angles are low on that as well. So that has a factor involved. But these are not meant to be slicey. They're meant to do pushing. So we're removing as much of the burr as possible. I could go here, and you can watch it. There's 2, there's 3, and there the burr finally came off. That's with careful, as I press in, the surface gives a little bit. And so as the surface gives, I drop my angle just a little bit. So I'm pressing harder, but I'm also dropping the angle so I don't come over the top and ruin. Does that make sense? What do I got here? Got the wrong piece of paper. Should quit while you're ahead, Cliff. There we go. So the Scotch-Brite wheel isn't necessary, but I can watch it. And you'll notice I'm going slow because I'm giving the wheel time to vibrate and agitate off. And then I usually go lightly from the back. That's my technique. also because I was using this to deburr with the strop. That's where I lost some of my sharpness. So I'll just go put the burr back on it. Move the burr off. Compound. There we go. Fine shape. So you don't need that step, but by gently having it remove the burr ahead of time, paper's all. If you guys are doing paper testing, try not to do these little, the little things. There you go. Just give yourself another piece of paper. Wahoo in the house. What's up? What's up, bro? True story, when I moved here 35 years ago, used to hang out with the local guys. Doing construction, doing whatever I could to keep going here, and I don't know if you've ever been anywhere in the world, but you hang around with people long enough and you drink a few beers with them and start talking like them. Till one night, my girlfriend said, when you get drunk, you start talking pigeon and you sound so stupid. And I never tried to talk like a local pigeon again. And I quit drinking too. Probably the best thing I've done in my life. Interestingly enough, when I quit drinking at about age 30, my whole life got better. It was weird. It was shortly after that I discovered scuba diving. And there's a real good comparison between scuba diving and sharpening for me, because when I took to scuba diving, I got hooked and I went as far as I could go with scuba diving. I went all the way up through every dive class they had. I became a dive master, worked on the dive boats, traveled the world, got to see Fiji, Indonesia, all these different places, scuba diving, saw crazy things underwater. But that wasn't enough too. There's that itch, It's the ism, but it's a different ism. I needed more, and so I became a deep technical diver. I went and did the next training, which is the nitrox and technical diver training, where you get the twin tanks, and I built the tanks myself. Kind of like when you become a sharpener and you build your first sharpening van. It's such a rite of passage. like Luke Skywalker building his lightsaber. You know, you build it. You figure out. Nobody can tell you how to put together your sharpening van. You'll learn. People will give you clues. But anyway, that's what scuba diving was. My first huge passion. And it was the first time where it wasn't the first time. The first time I found something I loved to do, and I made a career out of it, was electronics and electronic repair. And that was the first successful business I had, was doing electronic repair in my 20s. So I found something I loved to do. I became really good at doing it, either through natural aptitude or through practice and perseverance and lots of training. And then I got a job doing it. And I did electromechanical repair for many years. Sorry, guys. If you wonder why I can't take phone calls, it's because I'm either sharpening, answering emails, or yeah. So we have a system. We're looking at getting an AI system set up. I know, or maybe just some sort of different answering service. I'll maybe not go with the. I've seen some automated systems that work pretty good. Let's go with automated, because AI is kind of, nobody likes AI right now at the moment, even though everybody's using it. There's some automated voice systems that seem like they're pretty cool, pretty natural, and that way we could actually get people to connect with people, which is ultimately what it's about. I hate running a field service business or electronic repair business for 20 or 30 years. You can imagine every time the phone rang, I answered the phone. That's the kind of guy I am. And so to have every other phone call be a scam call or some sort of, telemarketing call, mortgage lenders. Here's a pro tip for you. Instead of running your hands down the blade, put the thing on the thing, wipe it like that. Yeah, the electronic repair thing went so good. I don't know if any of you guys have heard this story or not, but at one point I took a break from doing the electronic repair. And man, I fixed everything. Telephones, fax machines, computers, copiers, answering machines. We were Packard Bell and Hewlett. Packard Bell Authorized Service Center for the state of Hawaii. I was just a kid here, just had moved to Hawaii when I started doing that. And then I started my own business, working for myself. Just discount equipment repair, doing electronic repair, and I did that for multiple years. And then at a certain point, I had a choice to either become customer service for an internet company. That was a big deal back in the day, you know. I actually worked at CompuServe at one point, which was pretty cool. They like right on the T1 trunk line. You want to talk about super nerd? Being on the T1 trunk line makes you feel like you've done something. Working at CompuServe wasn't quite AOL, you know, but hey, CompuServe was right up there with them. If you know, you know. Mid 90s. And then I had this opportunity to fix video games here on Maui. And so I have this electromechanical background. I know how to fix things. I actually love video games. I grew up in the arcades of the 80s. I had an Atari 2600. I roughly set a world record in Space Invaders. I worked at Nintendo in the golden age, the 8-bit age. At the height of the Nintendo craze, before Super Nintendo, the original Nintendo, I worked at the factory. fixing the video games and playing them all night long. So I had this opportunity to fix video games here on Maui, and I took care of over 250 machines for another company here on the island. Big company, everyone knows who they are locally, especially the Oahu guy. If I say E.K. Fernandez, he'll know. Fun Factory. And they had 3 locations at the time. I took care of over 250 machines for them. Having a good time. And the point of the story is, it was one day that a friend of mine elbowed me. We're both having lunch, you know, metaphorically. I can't remember what we were doing, but we were like watching, and they're emptying buckets of money out of these machines. And my buddy turns to me and he goes, "Hey, aren't you the only guy that knows how to fix these on the island? Why don't you own them?" You know, sometimes the most obvious things in the world can be right in front of you. And even then, you might not hear that moment when it gets told to you. Yeah. Thanks you guys for covering with the info on that. We are desperately sorry for everything not being in stock, and we're probably going to run a couple sales as soon as everything comes in, just to make up for it. So if you guys can hang tight I swear to God, it should be another week or so. Worst feeling in the world. Anyway, so best feeling in the world, having your friend tell you something that you hadn't thought of in the whole world that might change the future of your life. So the whole theme of this story that I'm telling while we're doing this work here is that finding something that you love to do, becoming the best you can at it, and then sharing it with other people. You know, there's a difference when you have an authentic, genuine passion for something, and then there's also that desire to want to share it with other people, but you have to have what you got before you can give it away. Is one way to think about it. So I took my buddy's advice and I bought my first video games with a little loan from my grandma for $10,000. And she was not, you know, that's what grandmas are for. If you're lucky enough to have one that loves you. I said, "Grandma, I got a great business idea. Loan me 10 grand. I'm going to buy some video games." And she was like, "What?" You know, and I laid it out for her and everything else. And I had her paid back within about 6 months. And within about 3 years, I had 100 machines at all the hotels on Maui. So that's just kind of the way we roll. They were flying me to Oahu to fix video games over there, bringing me in as the expert. I was doing training seminars, how to do the video games. And I owned and operated Maui Amusement. It's still an active business today. We have a few digital jukeboxes left, but at one time we had over 100 machines at all the hotels. And there's even a video out on YouTube, probably out of my own channel, but it was called Monkey Time Arcade in Lahaina. Monkey Time Arcade. I did the logo, did the graphics, moved all the machines in myself. A lot of heavy lifting. And but that's how things go when you're building something that you love, and you love something that you do, and you're doing it for the right reasons with a sense of integrity. That's what happens. And that's the way this has come about. You know, everything you see me doing here, it's not because I'm trying to get YouTube famous. That was never the intention. You watched my first couple videos, I didn't even want to be on the camera, but there was nobody making videos, and we had stuff to share that I wanted people to be able to see. And that was the whole purpose, was to give back what had been freely given to me by others. I know it sounds corny. This is from a guy in the Spyderco Millie Club. He sold me a bunch of knives. He did this custom little, what do they call that? Whale tail? No. Harpoon. Harpoon tip. Ed, cheers. Go grind them out. Lucas, at the very end, I just did a rubbing alcohol wipe and then put them back in their sleeves. And then they'll go ahead and head on back out the door. So, what do we got here, boys? What do we got here? Little baby. I don't even know what we're going to do with that one. What else do we got up here? What do we got? Yeah, we should probably get these out of the way. Or some of these are a little bit more involved, though. I mean, that's just silly. A lot of these are, I'm keeping them for YouTube short videos, too. We could try and do one. Let me see what I got for the tools to do the job so that I don't get tore apart for doing it badly. This is going to be the first. Anyways, I hope that story helps somebody. You know, finding a passion. Finding a passion and achieving a high level of. Oh, I got this one. Proficiency is the word, I think. Hey there. Hey.
I
How can I help?
don't know if I got my knives to be sharpened here, and I probably forgot to pick them up long time.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not sure though.
What's the name?
Sonny.
Sonny.
No more?
I got no more.
No more.
No more.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry, Sonny.
No, because I come here sometimes to get it sharpened, and
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I didn't pick it up or what.
No, I've got one that didn't have a name on it, but this is not. This has been here for a long time. Sonny, when did you come in?
Jeez, well, maybe like a couple months. I'm not sure.
I think I remember seeing one that said Sonny, but we haven't had it here. You can see that's why we got the really nice clean.
Yeah,
and everybody gets a
because
tag.
some knives are missing, so I'm like,
Oh no,
I don't know where I put it, you know.
that's a tough one.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. No Sonny knives here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. But if you got any more, bring them by. I'll make sure.
Right. No, because I bought new ones. Yeah, here.
Oh yeah.
Like
Well, when you're
couple-
ready, and you need them sharpened, bring them by.
Oh, okay.
And we'll make sure we don't lose them.
Yeah, I had one like that, and then a long one, something like that, and a long one, but not as fancy as that.
Oh.
But I don't know where they went. Like,
You got kids?
no, it's over at the restaurant. So they.
Oh. Huh. Well,
You know,
somebody has played a little game there.
No, well, I don't work there all the time, so most times I don't pay attention.
Oh, well, you know what happens at restaurants?
Yeah.
Things go walking.
Probably.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
All right, man. Good luck.
Yeah, I'll just come swing by here if I need to buy something.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, poor guy. Funny. Nice guy. I actually recognize him. So, what are we going to do here, kids? Shall we sharpen a little teeny tiny knife? What do you think? All right, so stage 1, assessment. Scratched up. So satin polish will take care of that. Step 2, it's got a slight recurve, hollow grind. So we're not going to be re-hollow grinding, but we can put a nice clean bevel. Lucas, thank you. Welcome to the Sharp Squad. We'll be doing more of that. Like, I don't know. You guys got to tell me, is the member exclusive content stupid, or I mean, everyone's doing it, you know. I don't follow I'm not doing this for the whole reasons. Join my Discord. We're not going to do a Discord. There's already 10 sharpener groups, and it's all the same guys on the same Facebook sharpener group. So we're good. Anyways, I digress. So this has got one big serration, a failed serration, and then 2 little serrations. Why don't we start with just the satin polish on that? Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll just start by taking this and let's see if we can satin polish it. Does that sound like a plan? Let me check chat. Max Man, thank you. The harpoon was done by, he changed his name. Super well liked guy. God dang it, he changed his username. I think he's the guy that's always saying use your shit. All right, so first thing I'm going to do before I put this tiny little thing on that big giant wheel is I'm going to check it. I'm inspecting it. I'm making sure that, you know, this is, I'm not going to have it close on me or anything weird like that. Okay, and then we'll do the scratches on this side. Excuse me. One of the things I'm doing while I'm doing that is that if this is the wheel, I'm not just putting that on there and going over it like this. I'm actually treating it like there's a flat surface. Boom. Hold it on that flat surface. And then I lift it off. I adjust my angle. And then I bring it back down to come down on the facet. And that way you try not to round out or smooth off. I'm trying to think of the right word for it. Blend. There's a crispness to that transition point, and I'm trying not to melt it. Help me out with the words here, guys. Trying to keep that transition crisp, and if you just ground over the whole thing, then that would just get melted. That's what buffing wheels tend to do. When you see somebody does a mirror polish and they use a lot of buffing wheels, you won't have this edge and this edge anymore. It'll just be all just melted together. All right, well, that was fun. Let's it's the transition between the primary grind and the flat of the knife. That is, but all right, so now I'm thinking about it. Boom. And it's okay to put a little cheater mark if you need one. So I know that right there is the serration. See, because there is no indicator on the back where that second serration is up here. So give me a second here, guys. Try and do it on camera, but so I'm going to put there's a little bit of a serration here, just a little ripple. I'm going to put the pen in there, then I'm going to flip it straight up and over. Boom. Now I've got it there. Then I'm going to double check it. And then I'm going to double mark it. Okay, now I've got that serration marked exactly where it needs to go. This is a new serration wheel. I've done probably 500 knives or more on the old one, so I finally gave myself an upgrade. And let's see what we can do here. Very gentle. So I'm going to try to angle match that existing serration that's in there. It's kind of in pretty shallow. I'm not going to hit the scale this time. Okay. Not sure I like it. It's a little big. That's a little big. Safety tips. Don't get your shirt tangled up in the bench grinder when it's still spinning. Yeah, see, we're not using any complicated washers or anything. I'm just going to set, this is the quarter-inch wheel. I had taken it off here while I was doing some different testing We also have we're testing some CBN wheels and some different things. So even if it has a little bit of a wibble wobble to it, it's okay. Because once it smooths out, you don't notice it. This is tricky because it's so tiny, huh? Very tiny. We have some different these don't fit, which sucks. I might need to stop on this one just for the moment because I have these little mini assortment of diamond bits off of Amazon, but they don't fit the Dremel. Yeah. So I've got two serrations cut in, but I don't like how big they are. So I'm going to try to go to a smaller size, and then I don't have the one for there. So we're just going to stop. I don't need to grind anything into the ground just for the camera. That's half of knowing what to do is knowing when not to do it. I want to do these right, so we'll circle back for that. Let's do this. And then I do have a cool little finish up for us too. Now's your chance, you guys. You got any questions or anything? Sorry, I got off on story time there about my illustrious past as a world famous scuba diver and then being the video game king here, champion. The best part about the video games was I had all the high scores too. When you say it's rough feeling going the opposite way, so there's my wheel. Mine's going that way, so all the little furs. Somebody did something to theirs and all the fibers stood up. And I didn't quite understand how they had done that. What I will do, recommended that you do it in like open ventilation. Pick a really rough belt, like a P36 or something like that. I do that, kind of similar to what I showed earlier on the leather. I'll do that once a month. And it feels a little soft. I mean, there's some little fibers sticking up, but those will wear down as soon as I start using it a little bit more. If you're running it one direction and you're seeing some weird, try it the other way and let me know. If you have any issues or anything at all, don't just reach out to me in the email. You know, we'll figure it out together. Happy to work with you on it. Just there we go. I'm trying to think who that guy is. Dusty? I think his name was Dusty, but he changed it. Anyways, all right. This is just a worn out knife. And so I'm just going to put a clean bevel on there, clean edge. And I got my choice whether or not I want to go with a shorter bevel, like shorter top to bottom, or if I want it to be wider. This edge is, normally I would go with a shorter one, but you can see how chewed up and everything this bevel is. So I'm going to go with a wider bevel. Wider meaning it's going to be lower, so you get better cutting, and also it'll help cover up a lot of this wish-wash. It's just all over the place. That's what happens if you touch a Scotch-Brite wheel. Don't do that. All right. So to do a wider bevel, I'm going to keep it on the flat as opposed to here. Did you guys read what this said on it? I just noticed what it said on it. Operation Iraqi Freedom. Certified. Damn. Wonder if this has seen Desert Cruiser. Huh. Let me get the dust extraction oil. There we go. Look at that, no dust at all. That's why these machines are the best. I hate when people say the best. But my preference is to have a machine that has dust extraction capabilities. So, beautiful tip, beautiful clean bevel. See, this knife was ground with an offset grind because I didn't grind this side down that wide and then grind this side down with only just a little bit of a grind on there. That was there because I alternated back and forth. Does that look appropriate? Yeah, that looks really good. Hell yeah. Do we keep the back small appropriate? Or do we grind down some more and make them same on both sides? I'm just going to leave this one just like it is. I trust my gut because it follows the back of where the small serrations were. Also might make it so it's easy to sharpen in the field if they got a small bevel that they can bring up like that, and then they don't have to fight that big one. But what do I know? You guys still with me all right? Nice, thanks. I mean, the whole wheel is full of abrasive. You know, it's nylon fiber impregnated with aluminum oxide. So one way or another, ooh, that's satisfying. You know, when you have that half a degree of offset, when you do get the bevel sharpened on the second and it's perfectly flat, well, perfectly flat isn't probably a machinist term, is it? There we go. Whew. So for the serrations, I'm going to lightly just kiss them from the back. I feel for the teeth, brushing away. Feel with your thumb and you feel a pop, like it's sticking to your thumb. That's what you want. Press. Press. The serrations are now the shiniest part on that item. I try to leave my edge with a bite to it. That's got a drag to it. It's actually pulling on my thumb. That means it's going to slice into rope, into your thumb. Now if you were to over polish that, which is really easy to do, this way, this way, this way, it'll split the hair, but it won't slice the, you know, it won't slice the rope. And so that's what we want with this one. Gorgeous piece. I'd love to think that this has actually got some history. And for the most part, we just left it. You know, there's no, I don't think there's any rule in working tools that says you can't. Of course, it was already ground, you know, all over the place. Kapakai is the Hawaiian word, which sounds just like all over the place. All right, so we're going to call that one good. Love it. Well, I know there's not very many of us in here. It looks like there's only 20, 25, 26 of us here. But I've got a customer's knife. This got mailed in to me based off of one of my last videos that went viral. It's at 300,000 views, which is insane, on all the media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just blew up. People are sending me stuff to sharpen. Now, Spyderco probably would fix this. And the Spyderco guys in the Spyderco club, Millie Club, are going to maybe lose their mind here. So let's think about this together. So it's not just me that's going to get in trouble. Would you gently take that up and make it look like it never happened? Or would you bring the spine down and make that look like it never happened and keep that exact same profile? Once this is ground, if you grind back through here from the bottom, you won't notice. It's not like we'd elf shoe it right at the end. But if I grind down from the spine, nobody will ever be able to tell. Closing issues, there are no closing issues. It's way down inside. So regardless of whether I come from the top or the bottom. No love, brother. Actually, all the love. Have a good day. I'll check comments. You tell me. Both. Sarge, thanks for joining us. Like your name too, by the way, Sergeant Sharp Edge. We were just talking about that a little bit ago. Phone calls, are really hard, but if you can email me, that way I have a record of our conversation. It makes it easier for me to remember what we talked about if we talk about stuff again. And I've actually had a few phone calls where I didn't remember what I said in the phone call, and that sets me up for failure, and I try not to do that. So if you can, just give me an email. Let me know what you want. I try to answer every email I get, and I'll talk to you. Okay? I appreciate it. Let's just see how this walks out. All right, gentlemen? I'm torn because I want to do it on camera with you guys, but I also think it needs its own dedicated video where, I record it in 4K and I come in and I do the quick little, hey, this is Cliff, Curry Custom Cutlery, and I think we'll do that. I know, what a tease. I'm the worst. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to get us all pumped up for it. Yeah, I'll do it I'll probably do most of it from the top side. What I'll do is I'll do it later this afternoon, and then I'll post it up here really soon. I actually have a video that I haven't posted yet of me doing a full regrind on the hollow where somebody had taken a bench grinder to it. So I do a full buck 110 restore, and that video, I'm excited to share it with you guys because it's pretty, I'm happy with the work, but just waiting for the other videos to die down before I do it. So this is where either a 120 or a 240 grit, I mean, they're very similar wheels. We'll do this. This is just silly. I told the guy there's nothing really left to restore because it's already been ground down. It used to be a little bit longer, right? But this is how quick and easy this thing will do. Scotch-Brite will take a crusty, rusty old knife, and you do have to be aware, of things sticking out and so forth. So I'm letting the tip be downwind. And I'll just go halfway up, left side, I'll just do one half. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip it to the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip it to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe do a little bit right here. 1, 2, 3. A little bit more right here. It's gunky. There we go. Okay, so there's your beat up end. There's your shiny end. There's your beat up end. I didn't do the end cap. It's got a little bit of a round to it. There you go. Yeah, I mean, you got to keep going, but you can see right where I stopped. So it doesn't remove the character, but it just brings it back to life. Every deep nick or chip, that's one of the reasons why I just love the wheels so much. They do really good work. But this is where they're really what you have is you have a concentrated focus spot right here. Or if you're pressing here, then it would be right here. But because it's a curve, the focus spot is, you know, small. And if you need a large flat surface, that's where you want to put a Scotch-Brite belt on. So sometimes I'll take a knife that needs satin polished. And you go back and forth, and you go back and forth. And then you can go back and forth this way too. And sometimes you'll end up with this crisscross pattern or snail trails. Other times you can get it where it looks really good. But if you have snail trails, because it was very large and very flat, then you come back and you put it on a Scotch-Brite belt, and that'll even out and smooth out all the variations in your Scotch-Brite. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's why I say the wheel is really good for focused, concentrated action, that point of action, but it can leave the snail trails, and then the Scotch-Brite belt is where you'll get your super flat. Hey-o! Thank you, sir. Well, we finished off last week's live stream with a regrind. Do you guys want to do a regrind on this today? Shall we do a regrind? I got one vote for regrind. Going once, going twice. We're going in. Okay, we get this suction all tuned up here. So I've got a little two-way switch. I open one and close another. Now we've got really pretty good suction coming right through here, which is sweet. Regrind. I think we talked about it a little bit last time. The 36 grit will get the work done, but it can also be a little chattery, and the last thing you want it to do is come up, especially on a hammered finish. The one big no-no, I'll draw it with a marker. The big no-no is we don't want to have that belt scuff or scratch this beautiful hammered finish. So the original bevel was here. I'll draw where it was, roughly. There we go. So this is where it was. And we need to bring it up quite a bit. So we're going to come up to here. I think that's the rough. Of course, it's bumpy, so I'm giving myself a, kind of giving myself a mark where I want the grind. So we're going to grind, because it's so chunky from here to here, we want to get a nice thin taper that goes up quite a bit higher. And then I'll just do it on the other side as well. Maybe come up just a little bit higher than that. There we go. Sorry, I'm not on camera. We'll just compare. Yeah, so it's about there to there. Ideally, you want it to be, it feels just a little bit sharp for me. Let me not get hurt. Oh, we got incoming. We got incoming. Heyo. Huh, look who's on camera doing stuff with your knife.
That's so funny.
I got a live stream, about 30 of my buddies all hanging out. I'll just let them stare at the knife
Are
for
you
me.
still working on it?
I just was working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just actually just gonna grind it out.
Oh, cool.
In the
I
bu-
was in the area, so I just came by to check.
No, in fact, I'm just doing it right now.
Okay, cool.
I got 30 dudes all focused in while I do the grind.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, have a good day.
Live stream. I'll
Thank
I always
you.
forget how to spell your name.
N-A-Y-A.
How do you say it?
N-A-Y-A.
N-A-Y.
Yeah,
I when I see it, I think N.
yeah, I know.
Sorry.
Thank you.
That was the gal there. It's actually her knife we are regrinding right now, which is pretty cool. All right. So the cool thing is even cooler thing is there is no. This is a skill that has developed over time. I'm not claiming this is a master class in how to do it. I'm demonstrating ideally, in my mind, this is one of those things where you want to be prepared to do this. I'm trying to think how to say this. I think you guys know probably what I'm trying to say before I even say it here. This is not easy. You do not want to bump up into this area, or it's technically ruined. This is a practice knife. We got all the love in the world to do this knife. This gal just sent us some good vibes to make it work for her. So we want to do that. Oftentimes, I'll do work like this first thing in the morning, and I don't know why, but my head is clear, I'm calm, the world is quiet. And it's a beautiful thing. So what we have is we have a platen that's raised. And the big hump of the platen is right here. Okay? And so you can see its point. I like to have a reference point. I like to have it on both sides. So I've got the knob on this side and I got a black mark on this side. And what that allows me to do is that allows me to know while I'm grinding and I'm concentrating on my angles not to go past this line. Can't go past that point or I'm going to get into the belt. The point is that this point from here forward, it drops off. Okay? So I've got a plan. I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to check my work as I go. I'm going to keep it wet. This is a 36 grit belt and we're doing the rough grind, so it's okay. Make sure you got your light where you want it. First grind down and back goes right in the middle. You can see how thick the front edge is. So we're right in the middle, which is a great spot to be because as we grind down, we're going to move, the grind's going to come up and it's going to come down towards the edge. And then I'm going to flip it. Checking where my line is. Probably hard. I'll figure out how to show it to you guys better here. So this is the grind. The edge is thick, and we got a lot to walk up. Once you get a flat bevel or flat surface, then you can lean on it. But what you don't want to do is get multiple surfaces going all at the same time. Again, that's a 50 grit belt. Really hard to show you guys on camera. There we go, maybe. So you can still see how much material there is up on the edge that needs to be ground together. But we're staying well away from the black line, but keeping it also even as we go. You can hear me pressing in pretty hard too. One little thing that you won't hear people talk about is you do have to, sometimes you have to lift up just a little bit. To get the grind to come up into this area up in here. It's tricky. This side I'm getting a really nice grind all the way up into here. You can still see how thick it is, but we got a really good clean grind. And from there you just got to be patient. The other side needs a little bit of work. It's not quite coming up into here like I'd like it to, so I'm going to lean on it a little bit more in that area. So I go flat, 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 then I lean back a little bit right through there. Grind, 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 flat, 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 flat. And just by doing that a couple times, now I've got that coming up into here. Once I'm at a full grind, and we want to see about where we don't want to come up here yet because we're still at the 50 grit level. Now I'm going to starting to push to get the front to come down a little bit. So I'm staying flat on the surface, but I lean forward with my pressure, and that'll start to bring the two surfaces together. But you still keep it flat. And that just shows you how chonky the knife is that we've been grinding with a 50 grit belt, and I'm pressing heavy, and you can still see that's as thick as a quarter is what it feels like. There you go, a little better view, maybe. This is an air platen product. It's made out of carbon fiber printed, 3D printed carbon fiber. Very tough. So see that's that high point we were talking about? That's where I'm putting the knife, right on that. We're coming right down to the edge here, but we're not back here yet. We've actually exposed the laminate line. It won't show up on camera yet, but we're finally at that point. A little bit more through here. This back heel is just very high. Trying to take it down carefully. There we go, coming down. Okay, I'm gonna call it that. That's the hardest step right there, you guys. That's the, you know, that's the meat and potatoes step. That was a 50 grit Cubitron. How we doing? Did I bore everybody to death? Chef knife, we got them coming. We got more of them coming. They're on our website. And it's a little different from some of the other ones. It's actually got a clip on the front and the back. It's designed for the buck tool. If you had a different machine, you might be able to, you know, adjust it. Oops, sorry, I'm not even in camera here. But they are indestructible, and they have this. The air pocket allows for heat resistance or heat dissipation, but they're that carbon fiber 3D print. They're not just plastic. I mean, I don't know. They're tough as hell. So they're designed to clip on. They will fit both of the buck tools, and I like to have the hump right here because that allows me to have the maximum drop off. And that drop off is what allows you not to scratch up the edge. All right, let's see if we can get this done, because it's lunchtime, boys. All right, still in cam. Good job. So this is 50 grit, now we're going to 80 grit. If you've done everything right, you're just removing the scratches. Sorry, you're just removing the scratches in a flat plane. If you've done it wrong, you've got multifacets, which I've done, then you're fighting it. Multifacets are the worst. You got to pick one and grind through it. So if you got a facet here, here, and here, 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 and here, you got to pick one, hold that dead nut steady, and grind through until the other facets disappear. Woo, looking pretty. Keeping it nice and clean. We've come up a little bit through here. Coming up a little higher on this side. I still like to keep my reference lines. Okay, so we're still not trying to hit the actual apex. Once you hit the apex, you'll see that we're getting very close. And we're also keeping it very consistent along the full length. A little bit skinny here, but a little skinny right there. And that's where you want to kind of stop. What's really interesting is if these are the two surfaces and we're grinding them together, the minute that they actually contact each other, which is how we sharpen things, right? The minute that they contact each other, they start grinding away at each other, and you end up with a dip in your edge. Think about it. So you want to get it as close to together as possible without grinding them together, because once they grind together, they'll go down, and you'll end up with a dip in your edge. Then you have to do a re-straightening and a re-thinning. Okay, but we're looking good. We don't need to talk about the bad stuff because we're not doing that. All right, we're coming in. We're coming in close here. That's a tough call. So this is the, I'll come back to that Vevor buck tool question. This is the A160 100 grit Trizac belt. Okay? And it so hopefully this will show up on camera. That's a Cubitron P80 belt. Don't mind the mess. All right, you can see what I mean about not grinding through the edge yet, because that would cause it to dip. That's a 80 grit Cubitron grind. That is a 100 grit Trizac grind. You can even see the laminate. See how we've actually pulled the core back now too. So we have a fully thinned and tapered, but that's just the 100 grit. Most guys go up to 200, 300, 400, 600 grit belts. We're already getting a really nice finish just from the first Trizac belt. Don't let them get hot on you. I got greedy. I'm not on the edge. I was trying to grind back up into here a little more, and so I pressed on it. Of course, the heat came right through. Okay, we got A6. I'm looking. Where are you? A45. A16. There it is. So, upon occasion, I will do a full progression. That was an A100 200 grit. So I went 100, 200. 400. And the reason why it doesn't take too long is you're just removing the scratches from a flat surface with another flat surface. You do have to be aware of the heat as you increase the fineness of the belt. It's beautiful, you guys. I'm really happy with how it's coming out. Now normally I just go to a satin polish on the 240 grit wheel. But I thought just for giggles we'd walk this one up a little bit further, you know what I mean? That was a 400 grit. I'm sorry, yeah, 400 grit. And don't see the 600 grit. This is where, at some point in about the 600 grit range, you'll see some guys, they switch to the silicon carbide because it'll give them a soft finish. It gives a high luster. Well, that belt is good for one knife because silicon carbide doesn't last. Silicon carbide isn't made for metal, really. I mean, it lasts one knife, but it does give you a good result. You can get the same results by just going through a couple more steps with the Trizac belt. Okay, 600 grit. Every step of the way, we're reinforcing how flat this is as well. And by flat, what I mean is that the flatten is curved, but from this point forward is a flat spot that when I press down on it, it slightly compresses, and that gives you a flat profile. Roger. Roger. A little more. Woo-wee. Okay, that's a 600 grit. Now we go to the 1200 grit. Come on now. There you go. Funny enough, I started, as I was learning how to sharpen, I started as a knife maker. And I love the process. I love what we're doing right now. But it's incredibly hard to get paid what you're worth for the time and effort that you're putting out. I think most people would agree with that. I'm not saying that you need to do everything for money. Obviously, since I just told you stories about my whole life being about doing something you love, okay, we're at 1200 grit and we're moving very fast, so you have to watch out for. This is not the time to play around. Okay, I know you guys are dying to see what it looks like. Thank you guys for hanging out and sticking with us to the end here. Let's go one more step. This is an A6. 2500 belt. This is why I've been going through all this trouble. You'll see some scratches up close still. That's without buffing or polishing. you dig? That's the 2500 grit belt. One side, so sometimes there'll be slight variations in the steel and you can actually see it. So I've been trying to bring this side came out great, clean, 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 boom. This side goes clean, 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 and then the edge tapers off so that the bevel doesn't actually go all the way out. That's all right. The little minor inconsistencies are what actually make it seem really cool, right? Okay, so that was a 2500 grit belt. And then here's the rarely used, rarely needed, but always available 4000 grit belt. Holy schnock. You guys seeing that? You guys seeing this? Just the lightest of touch to make sure we got a clean apex bevel going across. Refinement step. Doesn't make a screeching noise anymore. My leather strap needs a little help, but that's okay. Yeah, will work. Zoom you guys out. Now I'll get rid of my training wheels. Rubbing alcohol will take off the Sharpie marker. There you go, guys. There's a full regrind. Mirror polished. See how the, probably wanting to show up, see how clean and consistent the width of the apex bevel is. Beautiful. Maybe one of the nicest ones I've done in a while. You know, if I could, what I really should do, there's no excuses. I should have, because the machines aren't that expensive. I should have I should have a grinding step, 2 steps for grinding, and then 100, 200, 400, 600, 1200, 2400. You should just have a bunch of grinders all in a row. And then you could literally do that. Half the time is taken just swapping the belts. You could do this in 10 to 15 minutes per knife. Didn't even make a sound when it went through it. Maybe one of the better ones I've ever done, guys. Glad I got to do it on camera with y'all. All I did was walk through, walk and talk while I did it. I appreciate you guys sticking around, those that did. I hope that helps somebody. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for watching this and being a part of this. This isn't about whether or not I can do it perfect or not. Or look, he bumped his knuckle. What a rookie, you know. I'm trying to share and hopefully inspire you guys to keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you love, keep getting better. Practice. Don't practice on your customers' knives. Good Lord. What would happen if I actually took that to a buffer? So the problem with the buffer is it'll scuff up into the areas you don't want it to scuff up into. And now you've got a muddied transition line and things like that. So, but you can do it. This is amazing. And I really appreciate you guys coming along for my live stream today. You know, I remember the first time I saw a guy thin a knife, and I realized there was more to learn, and then I started practicing. And the key that really makes it possible is that little bump in the hump in the middle. I'll give you the top secret. It isn't the deep, dark, mysterious, esoteric arts. Try not to get that multi-facet thing. That's like the speed wobble of death for knife sharpeners. Try and get that flat. If you get that flat, you keep it flat, and then you just lean on it to get it where you want to go. Do not get it all the way up to the apex, or else you'll start crumbling it down. You'll see what I mean. And try not to bump. And the rest is just a grip progression, which anybody can do, right? I mean, that's just the belts one after another with a quick little step-by-step. Anyways, that's a regrind. I think they'll be pretty happy with how that came out. Maybe I'll try not to do more than just 30-second little videos. Just because you guys see me do a 3-minute video doesn't mean I can't do it, a 10-minute. But time is everything, and it's past my lunchtime, so I got to go. I appreciate everyone for watching. Remember, I'm going to be at the National Sharpeners Guild. I'll be teaching on pocket knives, shop safety, and I don't just mean flip-flops. I mean from top to bottom, how we breathe, the equipment, the techniques, the mentality. We got a whole shop safety course. Then I'll be teaching on pocket knives. I'll be teaching on kitchen knives, commercial kitchen knives, because I've worked in commercial kitchens and I've run a commercial kitchen route out of my van. I'm going to be sharing all my information about that, again, at the National Sharpeners Guild. And then They also have knife certifications, and I've gotten involved. Hopefully we're going to change that around so it has basically it's a fancy piece of paper that says, I've been tested and I'm qualified on all these different types of items. Mostly, a lot of it's for hair scissors, and then it moved into clipper blades, and now it's moving into knives, where we have benchmark standards in the industry. Can you repair this? Can you fix this? Can it be this sharp? And it's no favoritism. The idea is to make everybody have a baseline with which they can test themselves against each other and against the industry standards to make sure then they can hold this plaque up with pride and say, I've succeeded and I've done the testing and I know what I'm doing. Here's my certification. Some guys might want to, some guys will take a look at your Instagram and say, yeah, he seems like he knows what he's doing. Other guys may, a piece of paper like that, or actually having the qualifications, may get your foot in the door somewhere and you just don't know. After the NSG at Kansas City, Missouri in September, I'm going to be at Blade Show West in Utah. This will be our first big booth that we have. Let me turn off my vacuum. There we go. Jeez, sorry about that. The big booth is going to be our first public presentation to the knife making world. And of course, we're doing knife sharpening supplies, but a lot of it crosses right over into knife making as well. And we have a ton of stuff that all is top tier for, you just saw me, basically what I just did was make a knife. And so that's the kind of stuff that we'll have at the Blade Show Utah. If anybody's in Utah, reach out to me if you're interested in possibly doing some stuff to help us because I don't really have any close contacts in Utah, so that'd be great. The last thing for you guys to be aware of is the Western Sharpeners Roundup, and it's going to be in Las Vegas next April. It's typically 3 days. It includes food. It has all the best sharpening instructors in the different areas of sharpening. It's got a round robin format, and the format is the food's included. You eat breakfast, you'll learn something, and then you go play. And when I say go play, I mean hands-on with me or hands-on with one of the other guys. And you repeat that for 3 days, all day. Eat, play, eat, learn, go play. And everybody does a presentation, but it's not sitting on your butt all day long. You learn something, then you can go hang out with whoever you want for the whole 3 days of the event or longer. And that's $650. That's the Western Sharpeners Roundup. No extra charges on that either. That's just all included. You got to get the hotel room though. And if you go to Facebook, there's a Facebook group called Western Sharpeners Roundup, and that's where you can find the information there, or you can email me and I'll send it to you. We'll have all that coming out. And if you sign up for the newsletter with us too, then you'll get the information through there as well. Okay, that's enough talking. Surfcaster, I appreciate you guys for sticking around. It wasn't the longest one, doesn't have to be. I'm going to sign off and go get some lunch. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we did some serious grinding today, so I'm proud of it. And thanks you guys, and thank you for letting me share it with you guys. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Aloha. Shaka.